Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Oh, man. As I take a big draw from that cigar, we're back at Instill Distilling Company. Man, this is my favorite place. No lie.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I'm not biased or anything, but this show is brought to you by Killcliff Energy and Killcliff CBD. Super
We're all
proud
gassed
to be
up on
sponsored by it. I'm all jacked up on it right now, man. I tell you what, I drink the Flamin' Joe, and I'm out of my gosh darn mind.
I didn't have one. You guys are running around like, I can't say the word, can I?
I feel like I can conquer the world
it runs with
right now.
cretards.
Well, we are here live today. We're tailgating again. We're still in the playoffs. How long does the NBA playoffs and the fucking hockey playoffs go? I feel like every show we've been tailgating for playoffs.
As long as it takes.
It's a lot of tailgating.
Can we jump right into it, though?
No, because we're with Jason from Legion Redacted today, which is a whole different type of gamer. What the fuck is a Legion Redacted? Real quick.
It's Legion Redacted is just kind of a name we came up with because we couldn't think of a real name, so we just redacted the name by not doing one.
Oh, that's cool. But what is it? Like, what's the club? What's the group?
We're just a bunch of nerds. It's tabletop strategic wargaming. You build, you paint, you play. And it's just...
For the listeners out there, these guys, they've been longtime supporters of Instill Distilling Company. They show up about once a month. Pre-COVID, that was the dream, was once a month, but then COVID hit. And we do have a tragic story about that. I don't know why I laughed when I said we have a tragic story about that.
Nervous laughter.
Tragedy.
It was a nervous
There you go.
It was a nervous laugh.
Military humor.
But we got up with these guys, a bunch of veterans. Not everybody's a veteran in the group, but there's a lot of veterans in the group. Jason, you're a veteran.
I am.
Of what service?
The Army. I did 5 tours with the 82nd.
Jesus.
Only 5?
5 tours?
I was only there for 8 years.
And you've got to be an
That's
infantry guy. Because I watch you do some real stupid shit all the time. It seems like when you're here, I'm like, why?
If it works, is it stupid?
No, I guess not. But I have watched you carry heavy things and been like, hey, there's a dolly right over there, right? And you're like, fuck it. I only got 20 more feet to go. And you just hump it out. So I knew you had to be infantry of some sort. But these guys, they show up and they game on these tabletops. They war game. Warhammer, I think, is the name of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Someone was supposed to plug my computer in and it didn't get plugged in.
Seems like a you problem. So is this kind of like Dungeons and Dragons type thing, or a little more badass than that? Or?
Way more badass than that.
More,
It's like Risk.
With big fan of Risk.
With each individual unit represented by its own model.
Interesting.
You build the models.
So all the models are customized. You build them
all customized, hand painted, about 2 inches tall for an infantryman, and going up from there with war machines.
And they take Coke cans, they cut them in half, they make bunkers out of them. I mean, the shit that they do, the creativity is crazy. And I served in the military, combat arms the entire time, and sand tables were a lot of something that we did a lot of, right? And when I watched your guys' games, it was like you guys were and to be honest with you, my favorite thing to do is build sand tables. I'd get wicked with it.
That's all we're doing is intricate sand tables.
Now, what is a sand table?
Working out the battle.
So a sand table is when you're planning out, like let's say we're doing a raid on a town or a village. One thing we're going to do is we're going to take a big giant sandbox that everybody can stand around, and we're going to recreate the terrain and all of the features inside a sand table. And so for me, I always have, and a lot of operators and a lot of infantry guys, other combat arms guys, they have little kits with G.I. Joes and cars and fake buildings that they do so that you can really recreate the scene. And so, what you'll do is you'll fill it full of sand, and I like to take the old knife hand, like if there's water, and you knife hand the creek as it goes through, and you pull out strings to make your grid lines, so that you know which part of the map you're looking at on the table. And then I would take the blue chalk from a chalk line, that you get at Lowe's, and then you would fill the little creek up with blue chalk, so you got the water. And people really get intricate. Some guys drop in like bladders of water to like represent a pond.
Now let me ask you this. This is how you basically strategically plan the mission that you guys are going to go on, right?
No, the plan is already planned, and then you're going to brief it on a sand table.
Does it ever work out the way you brief it?
It should, at least the key points, the infill, the exfil.
What's like the
how you-
percentage of times where it goes exactly the way you tried to play it out on the sand
You
table?
probably get about 65-70% of the sand
bad.
table happening.
In training, 95% of the time, it's not going to be.
I figured.
Right, but when you're actually on boots on ground, a lot of your operations are going to probably, at least the main basics, right? At least like when you see it on a sand table and then you get boots on the ground, you can kind of remember that sand table and be like, shit, look, if we need to draw back to the water, there's a huge trench just to the right of us. Because if you're looking at the table and you've got GI Joes and you're the tan GI Joes on the left side and your adjacent forces are the green guys on the right side of the creek, if you're in the real shit and you know that the green guys are in a lot of mess, you know, because you looked at the sand table, there's a creek between the two of you guys, and you know you might be able to be moving towards that creek. And if you're moving towards the creek and it's at night and you see a big large building, you're like, shit, this is that big building that
You
was
guys
on
feel like
sand
that
table.
helps,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
100%.
With training, visualization and muscle memory is huge, man. I wasn't in the
Interesting.
military, but in law enforcement, I learned that much. So that way, when you get
Well, in
into
law
the
enforcement,
shit,
we
you
do.
know.
In law enforcement, we do a actual recon because we're able to do that. So if we're doing a search warrant on a house, we will get in an undercover vehicle and we'll actually drive by that house, get eyes on the house. Actually, our policy was that you have to put. I mean, the policy still is. I
Most
believe,
departments are that way.
that you have to put eyes on that target before you can do your search warrant. So we'll actually just drive through it. So a sand table isn't necessarily.
I mean, when you're talking about loss of human life potential, I mean, it's really important to do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be
Sure.
a shame if you assaulted the wrong enemy or hit the wrong house, you know?
I can't think of a worst case scenario.
Oh
than
my
hitting the
gosh,
wrong house
man.
Are you saying
and
like a
smoking
friendly
somebody
fire
else.
type thing? And speaking of
Well, yes,
friendly fire,
yeah.
something I wanted to get to sort of tease a future show we're about to have is this a small conspiracy or a big one, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I love conspiracies, brother.
It was just Memorial Day. Pat Tillman is a high profile because of the sport he played, fallen soldier of war. And there's a conspiracy that he wasn't just killed by friendly fire, that the government had him killed. Do you guys buy into that at all?
No, I don't.
No, you don't think so? So have you, I mean, you guys would know better than me, obviously, being there and doing the thing. Does it seem like that's the story that they tell? Does that seem plausible? Like that's kind of what happened?
Soldiers get wicked drunk. We like to tell stories. I mean, it's
we
funny.
live off stories.
We live off the stories, right? And I think the reason why, I mean, I don't know, but you know, everybody's like, yeah, my father saw some shit and he doesn't talk about it. Well, our generation, all the guys that see some shit, we all kind of talk about it. You know what I mean? I think you get that many Rangers and there's some kind of government conspiracy. How do you get them not to talk?
Yeah. Well, I can understand that because I always talk about how the government is incompetent, so it's
And how
pretty
do you
tough.
crack that brotherhood too? That it's something different when you're over there knee deep in it, and you know that you have to rely on the guys around you. And
I mean,
they
I'm not
have
gonna
to
lie.
rely
I
on you.
wanted to shoot my fucking lieutenant in the back 1,000 times. I thought he was a huge douchebag. I'd have loved to put one in the back of his skull. I think he was the most selfish, most conceited, most fucking worthless piece of shit on the planet that was only making decisions based on getting promoted.
Tell me
I'd
how you really
love
feel.
to fucking drop a grenade down the back of his shorts and run. Now, would I ever do it? Fuck no. No, because
At the end of the
at the
day,
end of the day, he's
same
still my
team.
brother, right? You know, I'm not
Same.
gonna fucking kill or murder my own kind. And even if I was like that, fat chance that we're gonna find 2 guys like that, 3 guys like that, 4 guys like that, 5 guys that all have that same murderous mentality. Yeah. I mean, fuck, dude, the stars would have to really align that out of 5, 6, 3, 4 dudes that you're gonna find 100%. I'm down to fucking kill this guy.
Well, now
I
let
mean,
me
unless
ask
he
you
was
guys.
diddling children.
Well, let me ask you guys this, right? You guys
And then
both
in a
served,
heartbeat.
and we all thank you for your service. But if you were at least good enough athlete to play in the NFL, like Pat Tillman was, would you ever, even as much as you loved, I'm sure, supporting this country,
I say right
would you
now-
quit the NFL and go do it?
At 37 years old
In a
and
heartbeat.
owning,
Yeah.
I say at 37 years old and owning a distillery and doing this podcast and truly being happy, married with 3 kids, everything it seems to be playing out in my life. I'm so humble and blessed to tell you.
But you've already done
fucking
it.
awesome I am.
So
I'm so
humble brag
rich
right
right
there.
now. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm
Hashtag
happy.
wanderlust.
Hashtag traveler. Hashtag blessed. By the way, if you follow my @EricTanzi official, those are all my hashtags. And they're all serious. I'm being dead serious when I use those
Chasing
specs.
sunsets.
Eric Tansey, fit mom bod.
Fit mom over 40, baby. But I would say that if we invaded Syria or invaded China, whether I thought that was another bullshit, big government, big war, which, hey, baby, big government's back, so I know the big war's coming.
Yep.
If there's another invasion
already
and I'm
happening,
okay
brother.
to go, and I'm not over that, which I'm not yet, 37 I can still get a waiver to get in, I'd still fucking settle back up. Would you?
Dude, I just signed on my first house today, and I would leave it
Congratulations.
behind.
Yeah,
and
to go get
step
a little
out
bit
and-
more dumb.
Now, with all
and
due
do
respect,
what's got to be done.
Yeah.
doesn't
you
it
got
seem
to.
like you need a certain type of crazy to do that? Again, with all due respect.
He
Definitely.
has a club called Legion Redacted, which is a group of probably over 100 nerds that come in and set up fucking sand tables in a distillery once a month and play from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. With these games.
I mean, that level of bravery needs a certain sense of crazy, right? I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand.
There's a reason we play it at a distillery.
But you know what I found is when these guys came to me, so the first group that came to me to do this wargaming thing at the distillery, they were from the Air Force. And they got it funded through the Air Force's health and wellness, because the Air Force truly does care about their fucking men. Army would never do something that cool. But they're part of their health and wellness program. They actually funded these guys to play a pirate game. It was a very similar game to what you're playing, but they do it with pirates. And they have ships, and it's kind of set in the Revolutionary, so there's Revolutionary War soldiers, and it was
Nice.
historical wargaming. And so they have the same water, they have the tape measures to measure how to move the men, just like you guys, but they have
all to
protractors.
scale.
And so and so their ships had sails. And so like if you were going to, if you wanted to move into this one port and you had to roll a certain amount of dice and you got a certain amount of points to do things. And so if you wanted to raise all your sails and use all your points to raise your sails to point your ship in the right direction, that's what you do. Or you could raise one sail to get it partially moving while using your other points to reload a cannon and stuff like that. But it's a crazy war game. And what I found was that the veteran community, it gives you so much time to think about strategy. And I can really see how that would cope with PTSD. And it really didn't hit home how important this was until your teammate that you started Regional Redacted. I'm sorry if I bring this up. I didn't give you any notice that I would bring it up. But when you guys came here and then COVID hit, and one of your buddies, his name was Josh, and he'd reached out and said, "Hey, what about let's get this war game back going?" And I said, "Dude, we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. This is back when we thought it was a real pandemic. We thought it was a real threat, and so we didn't do the game." And I put it off, right? And then he said, "Well, when do you think we can go?" And I said, "Probably not until July." And I think that was on a Wednesday, and I believe on a Friday. Was it a Friday that he committed suicide?
It was Thursday.
Thursday. So I had talked to him on the Wednesday, or maybe it was you, whoever it was from the group.
I think we had both talked to you.
You'd
that
both
day.
talked to me, and then he committed suicide right after we said we couldn't do it. And I then realized how important what you're doing is. It's getting guys out of their fucking basements that are in their basements alone with their thoughts, drinking way too much caffeine, way too many Mountain Dews, and having real, this is their opportunity to get out. And I noticed that the guys that you bring to my distillery, they're all stereotypically broken visually. They're either excessively overweight. They have issues where their only thing that they can really do for fun is these styles of games. The only camaraderie that they get, and there's guys with canes, lots of guys in wheelchairs that come to this thing.
Yep.
A lot of veterans.
A lot of
veterans. And so what you're doing is very important. How did you get into that?
So
I'm guessing 5 tours in the 82nd Infantry probably had a little bit of something to do with it.
I originally played, as a young kid, and then I left and I did it for real, and I came out, and when I, demoted from the Army and was trying to transition back to civilian life, I just toxic event after toxic event. I hooked up with a motorcycle club because I missed that brotherhood and wanted that brotherhood, and found myself in all kinds of bad situations heading towards worse. I lived either on my motorcycle or at the bottom of a bottle, sometimes at the same time. And my kid found a video game, an Xbox game for Warhammer, and was like, I want to play this. So, trying to be a good parent, finally, we looked at it and we saw that there was a Games Workshop in Raleigh. We swung in, we picked up a box. Me and him started going up there to the shop, learning how to paint them and build them again. And I met a couple other veterans that were just broken and looking for a way to kind of be in the military without being in the military again, and kind of reliving some of that through gameplay on the tables and developing that camaraderie.
And you know,
that
the first
social
time
interaction.
that you guys came in here, and again, I didn't know that Josh was going to commit suicide, and he was a military veteran as well. So you know, really part of that whole Mission 22 thing. Really hit home. And this was before, though, and when you guys had first came in, and that's why I think we all fell in love with each other as far as using our spot to be your game, is because you guys all walked in. I had no idea what kind of people you were. Had no idea. And I said, but if there was that many people, I think, dude, there must have been like fucking 70, 80 people in here.
Yeah, we were running
huge.
full bore. I think we were just under 74.
74. And when I saw that many people in here at 7:30 in the morning, ready to start their gameplay, and these guys are getting serious. They're lining their guys up. They're building their tables. They're getting their dice all set up. They got all this shit going on. It was real serious. And I said, well, fuck, if this is that serious of a game, we're doing the fucking, we're doing the Pledge of Allegiance before we start. And we have a massive flag. And I just got up and I said, look, guys, we're going to do the fucking national anthem. This is my distillery. If you fucking take a knee, I'll throw you the fuck out. I'm just kidding. No, I won't, because I believe in freedom. You do what you want, but just know that I will shame you for it later. Everybody got a good chuckle, which I wasn't expecting that. Everybody put their hand over their heart. It was the loudest at 7. It was like 7:40 in the morning.
Every hat was off.
Motherfucker was saying the national anthem as if it was the last time they were ever going to say the national anthem. I mean, it was thunderously loud inside of our distillery. At the end of the night, and I had given my house cleaning things. I said, hey, guys, look, we're closed on Sundays. We're open for you. But look, I have to clean those fucking bathrooms. And you're all fucking chugging Red Bulls right now. You guys got pizza already at 7:40 in the morning. You guys are going to be shitting on my bathroom. Just keep it minimal. Just know that I have to clean this later. You guys clean the bathrooms. You guys all divvied out. Just like in the Army, you had dudes breaking down tables. You had guys cleaning up certain spots. You had guys on the bathroom detail. You had guys trying to mop my fucking floors. I was like, you guys don't have to do any of this. But it really was like... It was like watching it was just like doing anything you do in the military. It just automatically knew.
It's that mentality. You can't get that mentality out. And the neckbeards that we're dragging out of grandma's basement, and those guys that haven't seen the light of day on their skin in weeks or years, you know, are getting out and they're getting social interaction, and suddenly they're not shunned. They're not that obese, nasty creature that's the shame of America. They can come out and they can roll, you know, better on any given day than, you know, somebody out here that's benching 400 pounds, and they just dominated this guy that dominates them in every aspect of real life. And now they're proud.
And that probably stems from...
And your trophies are amazing. You guys make trophies for all these events, and they're usually custom made. One guy made custom dice. Another one tournament y'all did here, they made a custom blaster. I'm not a nerd, so...
Yeah,
what are
pistol,
you?
Just one of the weapons.
It was just a weapon, and it was made out of wood, a solid block of wood.
No, it was 3D printed. Oh, wow. So we run 3D printers. And
that's real nerd
printers
shit, 3D printing it.
To get... I mean, you got to make your nerd support your nerd.
But it's kind of like a badass nerd thing, right? I mean, obviously, as veterans, you're all badasses anyway. And I'm not a veteran, so I don't know shit. But I can imagine that sense of camaraderie that in the brotherhood that Puhak mentioned earlier, like, that's what keeps you guys and drives you guys going, right? So when you lose that and you're away from that, you miss it. The closest thing, and it's not even close, is me playing sports growing up. And I don't really do it now so much. But I miss it, right? Of course, you miss running around and playing. I'm sure you guys miss killing bad guys, right? But at the end of the day, it's that brotherhood and the camaraderie that you lack after that. It's like the missing piece that you need. So whatever way you can find it, I'm sure when it comes to, you know, you guys playing your games together, that's sort of the way of coming back together.
There's a parallel between, and you're right, Joe. There's a parallel between military and law enforcement where when people try to transition out, they get, just like our guest has said, that, you know, people kind of get sick and go down a rabbit hole, and some people get stuck, and unfortunately some people take their own lives. But I've found that the people that make it and thrive are ones that surround themselves by like-minded people. And, in this case, we're calling them nerds, but they're brothers, they're friends. You know what I mean? And the same thing goes with law enforcement and military. You are who you surround yourself with. I like to say iron sharpens iron all the time, right? And like I know you two guys as vets probably would agree with me that, you've got to surround yourself with positivity and uplifting shit when you get out of the shit.
Well, I think you have to find a hobby, right? So what saved me, I wouldn't say saved me, but what gave me an outlet was wine and wine studies and beverage, right? And that's what led me into opening up a distillery and to eventually doing this podcasting. But I've always had something to take my mind off of. I always say one of my favorite quotes of all time is work so hard, your demons are too tired to fuck with you.
That's right.
And I'm constantly working on things. And so you in this Legion Redacted, you guys are all working because you're putting on these tournaments, and these tournaments are no easy feat. They're building these fucking tables. And when I say a sand table, the logistics are nuts. I mean, they're putting 40 hardwood tables that are, almost, they're over hip high.
6 foot by 4 foot.
6 foot by 4 foot stable tables that they can put out these incredible graphics. And Noel, I'd like to send you some pictures, and you can pop it up there and there's a guy who owns a karate studio down the road, and he's one of the painters. His name is Scott Shishao, and he's a badass guy, right? Miss Martial Arts, been doing lots of tournaments and fighting tournaments. And when I saw him he's been at almost all your tournaments that you've held here, and he's so into it. He's into the painting.
He's one of our leading members with Legion Redacted, so.
and he wins the best decoration because you guys are here, because you're here, and gamers stereotypically like Asian shit. For some reason, you guys are always into like weird Asian culture.
That's why we got a token Asian guy.
Yep, you guys are all into that Japanimation stuff. Not you.
It's called anime.
Anime. A lot of the nerds, they like the anime.
Love Dragon Ball Z.
Chef Puhak decided to make an Asian dish just for this show in honor of Legion Redacted. Chef Puhak, I know I just brought you on at the wrong time because you're over there cooking. Any way you can jump back on this mic and tell us what is going on over there on that grill? It wouldn't be a tailgate without you, baby.
I am curious of what is going on.
So, it's always been said, conspiracy cuisine shows up, you better show up. So here I am showing the fuck up. I'm using a dish called budae-jjigae, which is Korean, which literally translates to army stew. Kind of ironic. We got some army guys here. The dish was created.
Oh, you didn't plan that because we had an army guy here that's a gaming nerd?
Hey, my brain works
align.
A little bit.
Okay.
My brain works a little bit.
Forethought.
So up in my brain, I came up with this idea to do an army stew. If you follow any of my shit on social media, you know that I'm heavy Korean, heavy Japanese, heavy Chinese influence. And this particular dish is called Army Stew, budae-jjigae, or as my kids call it, booty jiggle. And
budae-jjigae.
So, in booty jiggle,
Is that from the country of Taiwan?
Yeah, from the country of Taiwan. So what's in it is a little bit of everything, man, and it's an American-Korean fusion. In this case, we've got these things that look like gnocchis. They're called tettebaki. They're big, thick.
Oh, I love gnocchi.
Big. They're basically
Korean, South
Korean
Korean.
gnocchi.
Yeah.
They're Korean gnocchi, basically. And
North
then
or South Korean?
Korea.
Oh, never mind. Just kidding.
smack
There's two
ass.
different Koreas?
I think there's 3.
Well, anyways, and then there's ramyun, which are ramen noodles, and then we've got Spam, we've got American cheese, we've got bratwurst, we've got
You're just firing that right up on the Blackstone.
Just right on the Blackstone. Kalila, call her by her right name,
I'm
man.
sorry,
She's
Kalila
named
the
after
Blackstone.
Kalila. So
Well, I figure if we say Blackstone,
the deal
enough,
is,
they'll sponsor us.
this shit was created after the armistice where Koreans didn't have a whole lot of ingredients. And so I'm firing it up. This whole meal to feed 6 people is probably like, I don't know, $20-$30, right? And it's going to taste delicious.
That means he's gonna write Tailgate Legends a invoice for like $80.
That's right.
He'd be like, bitch, you said it was $25 on the show. Why are you invoicing me $80 for all this food?
Now
Well, he did work to
it
make
just
it.
went. It just
You
went up to
gotta pay for the skill.
125 for asshole tax.
Yeah,
so
labor
I'm saying.
tax.
Yeah,
I'm just
180.
kidding. What you guys got some more tournaments coming up? What do you guys got? What do you guys got next? Are you coming to Instill anytime soon? Because we'd love to have you.
We do. I believe Chris is going to be getting with you in regards to the June event.
How do our followers on our show, how do they get in touch with you guys to be a part of this? How do they, can they start it in their own communities?
So we have a Facebook page, Legion Redacted, on Facebook. We also have a Discord channel. We're constantly talking more social media, more better, I guess. I don't know. I avoid all that stuff.
Are you on social media at all?
It can probably be for the best.
I do what I
sometimes.
need to do to benefit Legion Redacted, but I'm really done with the left and right, mud ball slinging.
Same.
Like I'm here.
Well, Drinking Bros was started by veterans. From a lot of the guys from the Black Rifle Coffee Company, Jared Taylor, the Hot Dog King. If you haven't seen Range 15, which is the movie that was pretty much funded by Drinking Bros, you would understand it's that no veteran should ever drink alone.
No,
that was kind of the defining thing, and that's why we're called Drinking Bros, and we're the Tailgate Legend show. And so Drinking Bros, which go to drinkingbros.com for your best swag. We got the All Politicians Are Cunts shirt out from American Patriot podcast, which is on the network of Drinking Bros.
American Party.
The American Party, I'm sorry.
Close.
What did I say?
So the American Patriot, which would work, which wouldn't be a bad name.
American
but,
Party.
Let's
American
give a shout
Party.
out to Dan Holloway and
Yes.
a Medal of Honor
they've-
recipient,
Yes, Dakota Meyer.
Dakota Meyer.
And so they have the All Politicians Are Cunts, the APAC shirts out. They have the Drinking Bros sports hoodies, jerseys,
Defund
t-shirts,
politicians.
Defund Politicians shirt, which is a real popular one right now. They were
Very
sold out for a
popular.
little while. It came back. But yeah, head over at drinkingbros.com for all your swag needs. But yes, I think you wearing an All Politicians Are Cunts shirt might be what you need for your next Legion Redacted tournament.
Sounds like I need to head over there.
Yeah, all politicians are cunts.
You know,
I think you're right on that.
You said you
It
don't like the
fits.
social media. Know what my favorite part of social media is watching Tansy try to do social media, because he does, like, all the people out there who see the finished product of Tansy and his Instagram videos and everything. He takes about 15 to 20 tries to get the
No,
video just right.
That is not true.
And I love seeing the outtakes.
No. That's only happened twice, and that's when I'm doing a sponsorship post.
No,
because I don't want to
not
fuck
true.
up because I'm going to tag
He's
the
lying.
sponsor.
He's
What?
lying on camera
What
right now.
was the other
Noel,
one?
confirm it.
What was the other one?
Every video I've ever seen you do. I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying
because
it's
I
funny
only
to
do
watch.
sponsorship videos around you because that's the only time I social media.
And then
around
the
you.
worst-
And,
the worst
and we
part
will
is-
be able to get this blooper reel where?
I got to start. No,
I'll do it. I don't
That's
give
what
a
I got to
fuck.
start doing.
I never redo posts at home. I only redo the
Well,
posts.
the worst
when we're,
part is Eric will shit talk me while I'm doing conspiracy cuisine posts. So I'll like have a blooper
Oh,
and he'll
God.
be like, "Oh, you're so stupid."
I just
Yeah,
love how
'cause it
jacked
is
you guys
stupid.
are off
That's
this
how
kill
they
clip.
show
You guys
love
are
in the
jacked out of your
military.
minds,
Sure
man.
That's it. I mean, you know that we love you if we're talking shit to you.
Oh yeah. Well, that's.
That's the sign of
that's-
endearment. That's what us guys do, whether in the
You
military
know, when we're
or
hanging
not,
out with
right?
the Drinking Bros, we were in Dallas, and we were with Chuck Liddell and Michael Irvin and all those guys. And the whole theme of the weekend that we spent, everybody on the Drinking Bros staff and team had a thing that was just shut the fuck up, Tansy. So anytime I opened my mouth, they would all just yell, shut the fuck up, Tansy. Even if I had something important to say, like you missed that fucking exit, that turn, they'd be like, shut the fuck up, Tansy.
It's good to see that that's catching on. It's becoming a global thing.
We could all use Eric shutting the fuck up just a little bit more.
You know who else should shut the fuck up? Kyrie Irving.
Oh, God.
I talked about
please.
Kyrie Irving in the last show, and I want to pick up where I last left off with Kyrie Irving. Now,
Is he back at it?
he's back at it because I defended my city, Boston, him with the old trope of saying it's a racist city. He can get fucked, okay? Kyrie Irving came out, and like I said last show, he wants the fans to keep it to strictly basketball, inferring underlying racism in Boston, and he even ended up saying it later on. Now, Kyrie's a piece of shit.
But wait, when we're just keeping it to sports when everybody's taking a knee.
Well, Kyrie didn't take a
that's-
knee. He did something worse, actually, in my eyes. He went over to the center of the parquet floor at the TD Garden in Boston, and he wiped his feet on Lucky, the logo, the Celtics logo in the middle of the court, right?
Why?
So because he's, like we said last show about LeBron is
wants that
Kyrie's
attention.
daddy, first of all, and he's insecure as fuck. And he loves to play the victim, by the way, too, where he'll say, oh, let's just keep it to basketball. Don't say anything or do anything racist to me. So then he goes and he, swipes his feet on Lucky's face as obvious disrespect, a sign of disrespect to his former team that he showed no respect to anyway. And then he gets a water bottle thrown at him. Now, let me just say,
Yeah, you go and you fucking put your feet on somebody else's logo, and you don't expect to get a water bottle thrown at you.
especially in
You're a
Boston where we're
fucking
prideful.
idiot.
But let me also just say that the guy is a kid, he's 21 years old, who threw the water bottle, he's also an idiot. What are you doing?
Charged with assault with a deadly weapon.
Well, that's the thing, too. That's some bullshit. It's not a deadly weapon, first of all. Second of all, it didn't even hit Kyrie. I bet he wish it did, because then he could cry foul even more than he already is now. Listen, don't get me wrong. The kid's an idiot. Don't throw a fucking water bottle onto the court. We've seen a lot of this in the NBA recently. I'm not sure why. Fans are allowed back into these stadiums, and for whatever reason, they're making it about themselves or running onto the court. Shut the fuck up. Sit down for the seats that you paid for and watch the fucking game.
I mean,
yell.
Is there a part of you that thinks that this is the NBA just trying to spice up the games to get more people to fucking watch it?
It could be because their ratings are down,
Their
but
ratings are in
that's
the
more
shit.
because of their politics about how they care more about some asshole who approaches a cop with a knife instead of containment camps in China, which LeBron will go and not play in a game because some asshole decides to charge a cop with a knife, but he doesn't give a shit when China gets brought up. He shuts his mouth and will give...
It's because he's getting paid by China.
Exactly, especially with Space Jam 2 that will suck. I promise you, will be a shitty movie. Fuck LeBron and fuck Kyrie. But the thing with Kyrie is you can't play the victim, but also try to escalate the situation.
Right, like, so I love it if you listen to one of the other podcasts on our network is Icebreakers with Chuck Liddell. And it's a great show because it's with Adam Ray, the comedian. And Chuck is unapologetically himself, and it's amazing. It's so fun to listen to Chuck Liddell. He does not give a fuck. He's great, and Adam Ray is hilarious of all times. But Chuck Liddell has this thing called Fighting Offense. And he has fighting offenses, and it doesn't matter who you are, what time of day, or where it is. If you commit a fighting offense, a fight will ensue. So he was talking about with all these, taking the hat, which is Logan Paul
Gotcha hat.
took the hat off of Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And he was asked, what do you think about that?
That was
And he's like,
scripted.
well, that's a fucking fighting offense. If you come and take a hat off my head, you're getting. The fight is on. It's game on, right? I feel like Kyrie Irving rubbing his feet on that thing. That's a fucking fighting offense.
And then he cries foul, and
it's
it
a
must
sign
have
of
been
cowardice.
Exactly.
If somebody comes and takes the 82nd flag off of your, if your brigade or your brigade flag, right? Like if a separate brigade came into your brigades or your battalions, whatever you called it,
It's a throwdown.
right? It's a throwdown, right? It's
And
it's
if you
fucking,
don't
that's a fighting
participate
offense.
in the throwdown, then we'll deal with you after the original offense. is dealt
Exactly.
with.
Like you don't go and fuck with somebody else's banner. I would never go to another logo and
Exactly.
disrespect
And,
it.
and what even is doubly worse is the fact that he did that. A water bottle gets thrown on him, and he cries racism, because clearly the guy who threw it was because
throwing
he
the
was
popcorn. When LeBron James made a huge deal about the throwing of the popcorn, who gives a fuck? Like people have been throwing popcorn.
They're the most insecure athletes of all time. Nowadays, in general, most
Pussies.
athletes nowadays are pussies
They're
and
pussies.
insecure.
Yes.
But especially a lot of the NBA athletes coming out, they look like... I mean, Kevin Durant had multiple burner accounts. How can you be one of the greatest basketball players to ever exist and have multiple Twitter burner accounts? How insecure can you fucking be?
What's a burner account?
So a burner account,
I don't
he
tweet these.
had fake Twitter accounts where he would see someone saying, Kevin Durant sucks, and he would go on his fake Twitter account and go, no, Kevin Durant's super awesome. And then he got caught because he forgot to switch accounts. And then he has the real blue checkmark Kevin Durant, like, no, Kevin Durant is awesome. Stop making fun of him. I mean, if you are a...
Yeah, why do you even look at your? People talk shit about us all the time. I've heard people say like mean things about me, and who cares?
know what it stemmed from?
I
Is
don't give a
jealousy.
shit.
Think about how stupid. I mean, if I was in Kevin Durant's situation, and I'm an amazing athlete,
I'm making millions of fucking money.
and these assholes are
Way too
Millions of
literally
much
fucking
money.
Millions of money. Millions of money.
I got what you meant. But these assholes who are chirping him are literally paying money to watch him play. That's all I would say. I was like, dude, listen, say what you want, but you are literally paying half of your paycheck to come watch me play. So get fucked. That's the best response you can have, not
how
trying to
can you
defend
not
yourself.
How can you not feel righteous in saying, hey, look, I bounce the ball on a wooden floor, and I get more a year than you make in a lifetime.
Each bounce
Yeah.
is more than they
Yeah,
get.
go ahead,
I
talk
mean-
all the shit you want, homeboy.
I
Yeah.
mean, and then the strongest statement you can make is to attack a logo painted on a floor,
Exactly.
because that logo can attack you back.
So what I go
It's
to is
cowardice.
where does this stem from? Where does this start? What is the genesis of this insecurity? And I'm sure everyone's got their own insecurities for whatever reason, but I believe it's because nowadays the AAU game and the athletes nowadays are literally like LeBron was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was like 15 years old. And his whole life, no one told him no. His whole life, he was called the chosen one or the king. And a lot of these athletes nowadays are just completely get their dick sucked, for lack of better phrase, every day, every single time they dribble a ball. And then the second someone goes against the grain and goes, actually, no, you fucking suck, they go and cry and they say racism or it's this and that.
If I
and it's
suck so
bullshit.
bad, why are they paying me millions of money?
But that's
Millions of money.
That's what they just should say. Shut the fuck up and play. If you don't like it, then guess what? Beat their team and don't rub your fucking feet on the logo when you're all done, you pussy.
It's the culture that we're feeding and fostering here in America.
Absolutely.
It is the
It's trendy right now.
pussification of America.
it is the First Amendment means that you can say whatever you want, but you only have to hear what you want to hear.
Well, not everyone
You
understands
don't have
that.
to hear anybody else.
Prince
And
Harry doesn't get the First Amendment.
we don't.
Did you hear that? He doesn't understand it. It seems crazy to him. Seems
Well,
crazy to
I
me.
mean, they had their chance in the 1700s.
They
and,
fucked up, didn't they?
They definitely lost.
And
Get
that's why we
fucked,
have the
Prince
First
Harry.
Amendment, you fucking
Yeah. Here's the
dirtbag.
First Amendment
And
to
your
Prince
fucking
Harry.
$15 million house in Santa Barbara,
He's
California.
really fucking suffering.
Yeah.
You fucking
Poor
oppressed
Prince
piece of
Harry.
shit.
Poor guy.
Well, here's your Asian dinner.
Real
cheers
quick, I don't
to
want to
your new
read trivia,
house.
but I believe this is mine, right? I think
Eh,
so.
I mean,
This-
you can have it. I've
This
had
Flaming
enough.
Joe that we'll talk
I
about
don't think
later.
I'll sleep tonight.
I've been all jacked up on this Flaming Joe.
Yeah, well, they've been out of
fucking
it for
day.
so long, and then Killcliff just
But
sent
it's
us
back,
a whole
baby.
They sent us a whole box full of Killcliffs, and so the Flamin' Joe's been out for a while, and so we all went ham today because we haven't had it in a hot minute, and so we're all a little bit jacked.
Is there any
What
ham in
you're
this?
supposed to do.
Go ahead, yeah,
There
grab
is.
this.
Ham or spam?
Both.
What's the difference?
I'm gonna go ahead and dig into this
Well,
food.
it's pork, no ham in here, but
Oh.
you got bratwurst, you got spam, you got the Asian noodles I talked about earlier. Crazy. To me, as a chef, this is the craziest flavor profile you'll ever stick in your pie hole.
Listen,
wow.
speaking of tailgates and relating this to a tailgate, this would be so perfect.
With?
Tailgating in New England when it's cold as fuck, or in Buffalo when it's
No,
cold as fuck.
New England. Say
I'm
New
just
England.
kidding.
Fuck Buffalo.
In New England when the Patriots, or when Tom Brady comes back to play the Patriots, is that going to be in the wintry months?
Every month that's not July or August in New England is a winter
How good would
month.
this be on a cold, snowy day at a tailgate? Because it's so
Be
warm.
fan-fucking-tastic, and I would love to do it for Tom's return, the return of the king.
Well, those tickets are $1,000 a ticket, and that's for the nosebleeds.
Yeah, well,
gosh.
you know, you rich.
Yeah, you
Now
pay for
you
that.
rich, so it's all good, right?
Use some of those hundreds of monies. you
Yeah,
make.
all of them. No, it's more than hundreds
Tens of
now.
monies.
Tens
Tens
of
of
thousands
monies.
of monies that
Tens
this
of
guy's
monies.
making. He's just a fucking celebrity nowadays, this guy.
Our first event here, he said, if you slip and fall, drag yourself outside. There's no point in suing me
For fives of dollars.
for my fives of dollars that
Yes.
I have.
Don't sue me for my fives of dollars.
Boy, do things change, though, huh?
Oh, please.
Yeah,
Now you
it's-
might get a little more.
Now
you
it's
might get
tens
to-
of dollars.
Tens of dollars.
Tens of dollars and a kill cliff.
I'm just so humbled to be here. I'm so blessed. Hashtag,
Humble grind.
Hashtag wonderless.
Listen, you
Wonderlust.
mentioned
Hashtag
Killcliff.
Grind nation. Yeah.
Yeah. You said drinking bros?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. See,
We
we
just
got
had a
Random
truck
people
just drive
driving by.
Listen, and he's a
That was
drinking bro.
great. That
He
was
listens
great.
to the shows. He knows.
We're doing it right.
Here at Drinking Bros, we are sponsored by only the best, and that's Killcliff. Flaming Joe Ignite and Killcliff CBD. As we know, and maybe you don't know, but here's a fun fact for you. Killcliff was invented by a Navy SEAL. Now, as an Army guy, do you guys hate the Navy SEALs? Are you guys cool with them? Is
No,
this
I
sort of-
mean, without the Navy SEALs, we wouldn't have movies to watch.
Books
there you
to
go.
read.
It's always
No.
jokes. See,
Books
I
to
can't make
read.
them as a civilian.
They
but
got their movies. They got their book
books.
deals.
I mean, hairdos, hairstyles.
I mean,
I bet you some Navy SEAL got a mullet about a year ago, and that's why mullets are trending right now.
I'm pretty sure that Top Gun 2, when it comes out, Maverick will have become a Navy SEAL.
Never saw Top Gun, and I probably won't see the second one because
Really?
fuck Tom Cruise.
No, dude, fucking Top Gun is a great movie.
All I know is
I heard a
Maverick and
funny
Goose.
story about. Well, anyways,
We want to hear a funny story about Killcliff,
I
how it
do.
was invented by
I'm
Navy
pausing.
SEALs? Listen, you can overcome any obstacle with Killcliff CBD recovery drinks, which, after the amount of Ignite we've drank tonight, we're probably going to need some recovery after this, too. Because quitting's never an option. Bill Belichick always says it, no days off. We don't take days off around here either, especially when you're doing podcasts and music all day and all night like I am, double whammying it all the time, which we will be doing soon at the Brick House. By the way, we're going to do a show
yeah.
there and then play some music after because that's what I do.
Yeah, we're live at the Brick House next Tuesday.
Go and check that out, motherfuckers. But anyway, the new Flaming Joe, it was sold out for a while, but since Killcliff is so fucking awesome, they got it right back on the shelves for you. And now, guess what? It's not only in my hand, it's going down my throat and into my belly. It is a CBD Ignite infused product. They have a bunch of different flavors too, right? They got the Flaming Joe that I mentioned, the Mango Tango, the Orange Kush that I've learned, not Crush, not REM, Orange Kush, like the pot. The Goat, Tom Brady, who was referenced earlier, his favorite. The Strawberry Dazed and Confused. And the Variety Pack, which is a no-brainer, right? If you want a little bit of this, a little bit of that, variety, spice of life. So go to killcliff.com and use the promo code DRINKINBROS, DRINKINBROS. And you get 30% off. Not only the awesome drinks, but the awesome apparel that they have. You guys have seen me wear the Believe shirt. You got a Sasquatch. You got an alien. You got the all-seeing eye. You got a fucking unicorn. All the cool stuff that I do believe used to exist back in the day. But we'll talk about that on a later show, maybe a conspiracy show. So for a limited time only, use promo code DRINKINBROS, and you get 30% off all of this. There's no sugar, 20 calories per can, B vitamins, what gets you fucking going like I am right now, electrolytes, and it's all naturally flavored. You don't want that artificial bullshit, okay? We don't like fakies around here.
No.
We like the natties, whether they're small or not. We're all about the natties. So make sure you go to killcliff.com. Use promo code DRINKINBROS to get 30% off. KILLCLIFF.com. Make sure you use promo code DRINKINBROS. Don't be an idiot like Tansy has been in the past and go and order shit and not use the promo code. That's what it's there for. That's why we're telling you about it right now.
I forget, man. I forget.
30% off
Dude,
today.
use it.
I forget to look for that little square. I'm just like, let me just order this shit and be done with it. And then I forget to use the fucking promo codes.
So, speaking of the Navy SEALs and Tom Cruise, I hung out with this SEAL and his team. This is years ago, probably early 2000s, late 90s. His team was on a security detail to help Cruise do some like water filming. And they said that at one point they were in some deep water and Cruise fell off. It wasn't part of his stunt because, you know, he claims he does all of his stunts or whatever bullshit. And this guy...
I heard he does, though.
This guy said that Cruise started crying like a small school child and was like, pull me out, bro. Pull me out. There's big sharks in the water. And he's like crying and like big like crocodile tears streaming down his face.
Well, he is 4'0", so you know he's insecure about his height, right?
All that adrenochrome.
I've never met him.
You don't know anything about being insecure about your height?
No, I'm not insecure about anything. Like, I'm a huge piece of shit, and like everybody knows that. Like,
I'm just kidding. I just like it because I'm taller than you.
I just don't.
And it's going to come in
It
handy when I
screams
beat your ass in
combat arms.
basketball.
No, you're not going to
Top of
beat
the
me
line.
in this basketball game.
Dude,
This
I
fucking-
am, you literally
never-
won't score a point. You will not score a point. You're a piece of shit.
No, there's not enough.
That
Kill Cliff.
escalated
Hey,
quickly.
Just because you're drinking Kill Cliff, it doesn't make you a Navy SEAL, motherfucker.
I mean, not to defend Tom Cruise in that situation, but I have seen some of the biggest, most diehard killers overseas panic
In the water?
waking up to a camel spider in their sleeping bag, or,
Oh,
or
man.
a scorpion.
Okay.
Listen, I was,
scorpion in the
Can we
fart
talk
sack.
about those? Because
Look,
I've
we
heard
were-
rumors. Are
I
they
was
as big and
sleeping-
nasty as they look?
I was sleeping in a we'd
Bigger.
overtaken a palace, and so we were sleeping in this palace for like 2 weeks. It was just outside of Jalalabad. It was on the Jalalabad Lake. It was a fucking I forgot whose beach house it was or lake house it was, but anyway, we're sleeping there and we're with another unit, an adjacent unit that had been operating with us, and so we don't know each other. And we're all sleeping on cots. On different layers of this lake house, and I'm sleeping next to this dude. He was from Ranger Battalion, and he looks over at me, and he clicks his little red light on his headlamp, and he goes, "Yo, what's up?" I was like, "No, not much. What's going on, man?" And he's like, "You good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. Are you good?" Like, I had already been like almost asleep, and he's like, "All right," and he rolls back over, and we both go back to sleep. And about a minute later, he's like, "Yo, what's up?" And I was like, "Yo, man, do you want to talk or something? Like, what's going on? Like, why do you keep talking to me?" And he's like, "Why do you keep touching me?" And I was like, "Homeboy, I'm not touching you." He takes that little red, light, and we shine it over to the wall because he's like, "You're fucking touching me." I'm not. And there's a fucking finger that's probably like 6 inches long off of the wall, and it's coming out and
ET
touching
finger?
him. Yes, and it's touching
Sensually
him.
touching him.
Dude, he lost his shit. I lost my shit. I get out. I draw my fucking pistol because I had my pistol underneath my fucking pillow on the cot, and he's yelling to shoot it. The dude, homeboy's like, "Don't shoot it, fucking ricochets, don't shoot it." I'm like, "It's fucking concrete. It won't ricochet." He's like, "It's right." You know, we're trying to figure out, do we shoot this thing? That motherfucker was as big as the bowl that you're eating out of right now. We threw a boot at it. And we thought we got it. It fell off the wall.
Do you feel like you were in Starship Troopers?
And then the legs came out of the boot, from underneath the boot, and it was moving the entire boot. We were all flipping the fuck out. I didn't want to squash it because squashing this thing would be like squashing a rat with your foot. Like, it was that big, that juicy, that disgusting. Everybody was laughing at us, calling us pussies and everything else. And I think the interpreter came over and yanked it up by its leg and tossed it out into the lake. Made us feel real masculine when
They
he did
scream
that.
in the daylight too.
Do
When
they?
the light hits them, and they'll scream. We chased some out of a cave in southern Afghanistan, using those big 1.5 million lumen
LEDs, yeah.
Yeah, walking in there, and they're like, go in there and look for things that'll go boom, things that'll hurt us.
Sure.
And
Those
you
will
start,
hurt you.
yeah, you start looking around, and the ground's moving, and you take off running, and one of those things, like this hubcat with legs, comes chasing after me
That.
Yeah.
into the sunlight, and it's screaming. So of course I'm screaming because everybody's screaming. Like when the wildlife screams, people scream too. It's what you do, and I'm running from it. And before that, I'm just this cock hard, dedicated infantry combat killer, right? Call ourselves dicks, and we're, the biggest, the baddest things on the face of the earth.
Leave it to a spider to change that.
Until a size 12 boot is chasing you.
Well, yeah, screaming.
And it's screaming, and then it gets in my shadow, and it just sits there and it looks at me because it's happy now, like it's out of the sunlight.
It likes the dark.
Yeah, it's just sitting there whispering like, "I am the darkness," and I'm lifting my boot, but I can still see the body of the spider.
Yeah.
And if you've ever gone to step on something, and you got your foot over it, but you still see the body, not just the legs, but the body is there.
You'll think
You
twice.
shoot it.
Bring back napalm.
You shoot it and you run.
Yeah.
And I shamelessly shot it.
You shot a
and ran.
spider.
I shot a spider.
And did you go like oh?
Like you look on Facebook and you got, or YouTube, and you got old boys sitting there dressed up talking about, I used a can of hairspray and a lighter and made a flamethrower and burnt my house down. I would burn my house down to
Oh,
kill
I'd
one of
fucking
those
light that shit out,
motherfuckers.
bulldoze that motherfucker in a heartbeat.
No thanks.
Heartbeat.
So then you must have a tough time watching Starship Troopers after that, right?
Not really, because I know that those ones are fake.
And you also see what's her face's tits too, right? Which
Yeah,
is always a
you-
fun time.
you
Denise
can't-
Richards, is that her name? What's her name? Who's the chick that you see her tits in Starship Troopers?
No, I think it's the other girl, not Denise Richards. I think it's the one that followed him into basic.
Yeah. Either way,
In
I
that-
think those
in
were
that whole
natties, by the
shower
way.
scene.
And again, we prefer small natties over big fakies around here.
I like
Hey.
Demi Moore.
Ah, Demi Moore. She
Yeah,
likes
was
them
in, she was in
younger,
Navy
so I have a
SEAL.
chance.
She was a Navy SEAL.
She was G.I.
See?
Jane, right?
I mean,
I actually took a shower in the same shower that the shower scene was filmed in, where she was naked. That was in Camp Blanding, Florida. I've actually showered in that same
So
shower.
you were naked
Did you
with her then.
masturbate
You were
in that?
technically
You guys were naked on
Essentially,
top
I
of each
showered
other.
with Demi Moore.
Did you
Yeah.
masturbate in that
Oh
shower?
my God!
You're a pussy if you didn't.
Every shower.
No, what's another cool place to masturbate?
Oh my
Porta
gosh.
potty.
On a ghost
yes.
bed.
Oh, Ghost Bed. We love
my
Ghost
favorite
Bed because
place
they've
to
been
masturbate.
a loyal sponsor with the Drinking Bros for the past 5 years. Everyone raves about them. Super comfortable mattresses that last forever. Have a 20-year warranty on each mattress. Made in the USA. 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 You can try it out for 101 nights. If you are not satisfied, you can easily return it. Each Ghost Bed mattress has cooling technology in it so that you are not hot at night. Literally, you can stay cool while staying hard, baby. The mattresses are awesome. Right now, Ghost Bed is offering a flash sale. All right, because they're new sponsors to the Tailgate Legends, baby. 40% off Ghost Bed bundles where you get a mattress and adjustable base.
That's a lot of
so
money.
you just
off,
got a new
man.
house.
When you throw that shit in your cart.
You just got a new house.
Time for a new bed.
If you need a new bed, baby, Ghost Bed. Literally, they've been sponsoring the Drinking Bros. Huge supporters of the military. I mean, absolutely. This deal used to be only for military. They've now changed it to all the Drinking Bros because the Drinking Bros, even the people that
Primarily, yeah.
aren't military, they're just big supporters of, and they're usually law enforcement or have some kind of veteran background. So it's 40% off if you use the promo code Drinkin' Bros. And you can go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros to get that 40% off, or you can get 30% off of everything if you just use that same code. So even if you don't want the mattress and the bed, but you want the pillows and the cases and all that things, you can get 30% off of that stuff.
Ghost beds are so comfortable, I would sleep in one with a camel spider. That's how comfortable ghost beds are.
Nah, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
What
I'll endorse
So
it.
there- you will,
Sometimes there's a line.
if there was a ghost bed in a
And you
hotel
shouldn't
room,
cross it.
Eric, would you sleep in the same bed as Joe? Because I know you slept on the floor one time.
Well, we didn't tell you about our Dallas trip.
Yeah, we did sleep. We had 2 beds.
No, we didn't. Tell the truth.
Two beds
you know
that
what?
they
It was
pushed
two
together.
yeah.
They did not have. Yeah,
Got him.
But they did not have an adjustable base. They were not best
This
in
is
their
called
class,
diversion.
like
In
Coke
interview interrogation, this is called diversion.
you
He
say-
won't- He will not embrace what I'm throwing down right now.
So all I wish was, even though we did have one bed and we snugged a little bit, I do wish it was a ghost bed. It would have been a lot more fun.
Snug.
Look,
It
our
was.
publicist
Front
said,
spoon or back spoon?
well, we could say whatever the fuck we want on this show, but don't fuck up the ad reads. And you guys were fucking up the ad read. So it's really the one thing that keeps this shit show on the road and this Korean gnocchi in my mouth that I'm trying to chew on. And we're fucking it all up. But they do come with an adjustable base for a very low price. You save thousands compared to others. The adjustable base has 15 massage modes, 0 gravity, and some other awesome features. You can buy a mattress for like $35 a month, even if you have mediocre credit. They have 0 down, 0%. It's 0% financing. Check it out, ghostbed.com/Drinking Bros. Again, made in the good old US of A. 40% off mattresses and adjustable base, or 30% off mattresses plus 2 free pillows if you use that promo code Drinking Bros. And the adjustable base with 15 massage modes, 0 gravity, way less than the competition. I'm thinking with your new home, we got to get you into a ghost bed somehow.
That sounds like
Maybe that'll make your wife happy for coming out here so late when you're supposed to be moving furniture, heavy shit into your house.
Yeah, he's supposed to be
Maybe
here
we
for 30
surprise her.
minutes.
Maybe we surprise her.
celebrating
Maybe
our,
we surprise her with a ghost bed.
our
and be
home
like,
by.
we surprise her with a ghost bed and a gangbang. Because who would be upset
Oh
with
my
that,
gosh.
right? You know, 4 handsome dudes, 1 girl, 1 ghost bed. I'm just
5 out of 6 agree it's the best night of their life.
It's only reason I made that joke is because he is infantry, and
I wasn't sure how he's going to recover from that, and then he just came off the top rope.
Know how he would recover, though? He would recover with some Kill Cliff CBD recovery.
Oh man!
drinks.
So, do you have a favorite sport that you like to tailgate for? Do you tailgate at any live sporting events?
So, I was a big one for college football, and for a good while there. But the time that it became okay to take a knee on flags, to take a knee during the national anthem, to decide that it's okay to pick and choose whose name is allowed on a helmet and who you can immortalize.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I agree. That's when I stopped watching sports.
Same here, brother.
I stopped watching when Villanueva had to go out on the field by himself to support the national anthem, and when that team did not follow him.
Bullshit.
And then they made him apologize.
And then they made him apologize.
Well, I'll play devil's advocate here. Again, I didn't fight for my country. I'm not as brave as you guys are. But I don't agree necessarily with Kaepernick, but I defend his right to do it.
It's not that. It's the fact that they are picking and choosing. Like when
Sure.
when one team wants to put a police officer's name on the back of the helmet, they're not allowed.
the Dallas
But they want to
Cowboys.
put
Yes.
But when they put so it's the whole polarizing
Sure.
of the whole thing. It's
But that's
this for
more
that.
the media's fault than the actual players' fault.
Wasn't Tebow
I was
drummed
exactly.
out
I was
for
exactly
kneeling
get to
in
that.
prayer?
But you know what? Tebow's back,
Yes.
baby. There goes our hero.
Watch him
as he goes.
A little shout out to the Foo Fighters there, but no,
Little shout out to Tim Tebow because he's gonna fucking rage. He's a tight end. He's looking beefy as fuck.
he does look
The
beefy as fuck.
Fucking Christian
Hey,
Crusher.
Did you see what he's
I'm
doing
ready,
though?
baby.
He's honoring his fallen comrade Aaron Hernandez wearing number 85 because since it's Pride Month, we'll give Aaron Hernandez a shout out here. But what I was gonna say about the whole kneeling thing is I defend the right to do whatever the fuck you want because
Yeah.
that's this country. I don't necessarily agree with Kaepernick. I think he's full of shit and he became a hero by just faking it till he made it. And I don't think he deserves.
He's purchased, brother.
Yeah,
He's not
Nike
real.
gave them this huge endorsement because he's a martyr,
Yeah.
really is what he is. But again, I also defend the fact that he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
He's a woke mob poster child.
Yes, of course he
That's
is.
it.
Of course he is.
has no. He will go out for the next sellout. He
yes.
will do the next
and,
thing.
and like he referenced, Tebow got a lot of flack for taking the knee in the name of Jesus. And people were like, how dare he wear his religion and heart on his sleeve for that? Now, again, like I said, Kaepernick can do whatever the fuck he wants. I think Tebow should have been able to do whatever the fuck he wants. And they both did to an extent.
Right.
But it's all about, I have more of a problem not with the side or stance that they choose about how it's portrayed in the media where Tebow was too polarizing and this and that. Now Tebow comes back into the league and quickly the first thing people talk about is, why isn't Kaepernick back in the league? But Tebow is. This is white privilege and some bullshit.
I think it's skill level.
Yeah. Kaepernick was not good. And you know what? Tebow wasn't a great quarterback either, but he changed his
He
position.
fucking went to the playoffs. He beat
Kaepernick
the
went to the
Steelers
Super Bowl, though.
in the playoffs.
Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl, to be fair.
Right.
But the thing is, with Kaepernick, he had a little
See,
run.
I tried to sports. You can
Get-
get from me.
he had
Yeah.
a quick run, but he faded
did.
out.
They both,
He was on
they
the
both had
outs.
quick runs and faded out. Now, if Kaepernick was like,
I
no,
don't
I'm
know,
going to play wide
you
receiver
see,
now.
You see Tim Tebow's guns. You see those cannons. You see those fucking quads, those thighs.
Man, you wouldn't avert your eyes if he was naked, would you?
No, hell no. It's Pride Month, baby. But listen, the Christian Crusher. That's what I've deemed him.
I love
I'm
that.
buying. Look, I've got a fucking toy. I never took it out of the wrapper. I've stowed it
Just
away.
sat on it.
It's the only thing that I've collected. I feel like when you reference Tebow, you're referencing God Himself or Jesus. So that was.
How did we go from talking
sacrilegious.
about a naked guy to our friend making a vibrator sound when
With
you're
a
talking
Tebow
about a
toy.
toy?
A Tebow toy.
Oh, what kind of toy is it? I don't get
It's a
it.
Tebow toy. It's
Don't get
it's
it.
a man.
Butt plug.
now he's lost.
You nerds know what I'm talking about. You're like, it's not a toy.
What,
it's
what are you
a
talking about?
mannequin.
It's a model. It's
a
my
model.
doll.
It's a model.
Yeah, it's a model.
It's actually on the chair that he's sitting on right now.
You know what? I'm gonna break it out for the next
Is that
show.
is that
I'll
what
put
you
that
keep
shit right there.
controlling with your phone? Because I noticed the pitch of his voice changing.
He just keeps propping up every time I click the button on the side. Woo, woo. So,
Man.
you referenced
Have you been to Adam and Eve lately? God bless. There are so many.
No, but I know you and
fucking-
Ashley have.
There's so many sex toys in there. Where do you even start? I mean,
And the-
shit, she's coming over here.
Grabbing a lighter. Speak.
But I want to talk about the games that you're playing, right? It's, and this isn't an insult by any means. It's similar to like LARPing, as they call it, right? Where
What is LARPing?
so LARPing's like
Is that a porn category?
Live action role play.
See, he knows. He's,
Oh, that
he's
is
a
a porn.
full on
That is a
nerd,
porn.
right?
Once you're a nerd, you're always a nerd. But
You're
there's still
immersed in the
nerds that
world.
we make fun of.
Oh, of course, because you're a nerd who could kick most nerds' asses.
I'm like a
right?
nerd elitist.
yeah.
You know?
So the
He
old
became a nerd so that he could rise above all the ones. That's why he's all jacked and fucking shredded like he is.
Hey, Scott taught me that. He said you put your hands on the edge of the table and you post.
Yeah.
And he's like, you may not win the dice roll,
Yeah.
but you're gonna win control of that table.
Okay. I can see him saying that. He's got the Santa Claus beard. He looks like Mel Gibson from that movie.
He does look
Claus.
like Fat Man.
Yes, he does. But he's not fat. But I guess Mel Gibson wasn't fat in that movie
He's-
either.
So
Yeah, they pumped him up.
So true story. We're down in up in Arlington for a big old the Nova Open, North Virginia Open, big gaming, big gaming
That's
nerd
the
thing,
nerdiest
right?
shit I've ever heard. in my
Yeah,
life.
I mean, and you're talking of, tens of thousands of nerds gathered together. And here's Scott,
so you mean the insurrection?
he's a black belt. He does CrossFit, so obviously he drinks
Yeah.
Kill Cliffs.
Yes. he
Looks
does.
like some badass Santa.
everybody here drinks Coke.
And then the third member of our team is a SEER school corpsman for instructor,
Okay.
right? And he's currently
One of the best
deployed
schools I ever
SAM.
went to, by the way.
Glorious guy.
Sears C was the best school I ever went to.
And so there's the three of us, and we're, I'm no slouch, but I was the smallest of the group
Right.
of
You're
us.
fucking.
And here we are riding bird
Rock hard.
scooters across a
Jesus.
cobblestone
Eric, you're fucking
sidewalk
Those are fun,
through
though. Those are
Arlington,
fun.
surrounded by nerds, probably average weight class of like 340, 350. And so I see a moment, and I take control of this moment, and I yell into my shirt pocket at my cell phone, and I'm like, Siri, play Kenny Loggins. Because every vet, regardless of branch served, has Danger Zone
Yeah.
on their phone. So I'm like, Siri's going to play the only
Danger
Kenny
Zone.
Loggins song I have on my phone.
Okay.
But no, picking up that I would be on a podcast during Pride Month, Siri decides to play Footloose,
Footloose.
top, full volume. There's three of us in like skin tight t-shirts, flexing on these little bird scooters on cobblestones.
Screw the gang, screw the gang, screw the gang.
So I can't even let go of the handlebars to mute my phone or turn the music down. I'm yelling at Siri as
Siri,
I'm
stop!
as
Siri,
I'm
stop it!
across this thing, and she can't hear me because the volume's so loud.
Yeah.
And then you got this guy that's like twice the man I am, and you could tell because of his pant size and whatnot. But he's
see a
outside and he's
bulge?
doing something. He is massive. There was more of him hanging over his belt than there is in my
that
pants.
type of massive. Okay.
And he points at me and he goes, "Nerd." And
Was that the low moment for you?
the shame is there, and Sam gets so angry that he like clenches on his Chick-fil-A cup. That's styrofoam because he's resting his wrist on his handles of his scooter.
Ruined
His soda blows up in his face. He's filling Christ's own chicken with Dr. Pepper
Christ's own
in a paper bag,
Lord's chicken, man.
which then tears.
I actually had chicken
because
for lunch
it's
there.
paper.
Chick-fil-A.
Falls, and his chicken sandwich gets lodged somehow between the forks and the front wheel of his scooter, and he just Soldier Boys over the handlebars on a cobblestone. And we went from being like the baddest mofos in this entire city
Had the turns
to the
tabled.
lowest of the low. And like 2 days later, there's still some fat guy that can only grow a beard on his Adam's apple. And he clawed his way out of Grandma's basement. She sponsored him to play the game. And he points and he's like, "You're those nerds.
Yeah.
Footloose.
Yeah.
And you're just there.
Oh man!
You
Listen,
can't-
we need
you
to.
can't bench that away.
Because I'm never gonna know when you guys are gonna do this. But you need to text me when there's a big nerd event, and we're gonna go
Yeah,
and do a
let's
tailgate
tailgate
legend
there,
show
dude.
for the event.
That would be
So
awesome.
we're gonna post up like we are tonight. But we're gonna post up for one of your events, and we're gonna bring some
Yes.
dudes up, some of these basement dwellers.
I wanna
We
make
want them
some
to
mom's
mouth breathe
basement
all over.
food.
We'll make prison
Mom-
food.
Oh, yeah.
'cause
Prison
that would be
food.
fun. I'm just kidding. But you're really into
In a
prison
toilet?
food.
I
Like,
am.
no, he likes
like
prison
some
food.
fancy
You make it
cheese
in a toilet,
puffs.
though, right?
I
Some
know how to
Blackstone
make prison
cheese
Oh, you know what?
puffs.
Speaking of prison food, I made. We had our 2-year Instill Distilling, makers of the finest rums in North America. We had the Instill
Girl number
Distilling
2.
Company. Yeah,
Girl
lady
number 2.
Oh, that's your favorite
Lady
girl?
number
Lady
2.
number 2.
Always.
I'm a lady 3 guy, but lady 1's closest to my heart because she was my first. You know, and you never let go of your first. But we had our 2-year anniversary here, and we cooked pig. And Chef Puwak, I made Mexican street corn, and we were out. We ran
Oh,
out.
you did it.
We did it, and we ran out very quickly.
I heard the music was good that day. Who
What did
played?
you- how did you
Some
make it?
Shitty band name As We All Float.
It actually wasn't. It was pretty much just me and a couple of the kids from Probable Cause, who's actually a rad
No, it was
band
actually
out
it was a good turnout. Music was great. Everything was great. The weather held off for us. The
Yeah, it
pig
wasn't too
was
bad.
amazing that we cooked, and the Mexican street corn was a hit. And I bought it
Always
from
a hit.
Compare Foods. The woman I bought it from was Dariana. She didn't speak English. We had to do it through phones because not very many people like Compare Foods. Speak
Google
English.
Translate.
And she told me that I had to have a certain seasoning to go on it, and it was like a lime based.
Tahine.
Tahine, yep. And so I actually added tahine to the Cheetos only because she put it in my cart, and I felt if I took it out of the
You
cart,
are
it would be a
basically
sign of-
Hispanic now.
well,
That's
I am.
My wife
I
told
was-
me I'm an honorary Hispanic, and
I'm
she's
honorary
Hispanic,
Hispanic.
so that means I can make you Hispanic.
Yep. I'm fine with that. I like the Hispanic culture.
Yeah.
Blood in,
I'm
blood out,
for it.
right?
Yeah.
No,
you
know
know
what
it's all
culture
right.
I like? I like the gay culture. And I'm a heterosexual male, but it's Pride Month. And Tansy didn't want me to talk about it, but I will. And Pride Month is the month of June when, gay marriage became legal. I think gay
Oh, is
marriage.
is that why it's Pride Month?
It is.
I didn't know that.
It was June 26th,
learn
actually,
something every
in the
day.
year of our Lord 2015, 14, I want to say. But a big gay icon who I love and near and dear to my heart is Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
So I'd like to go around the table and ask everyone who their favorite gay icon is. We'll start with you, Tansy.
I'd have to say The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Not a bad one. Not a bad one.
He's my favorite.
He's a big gay icon, for sure, for sure. Chef Puhawk, who's your favorite
He's
gay
not
icon?
famous, but when I was sous chef at this place in Philly, this big old giant Texan, he's 6'5", named Randall, and just flamboyant as can be, man. And he was an opera singer, and he sang baritone in a southern accent. He was the best gay that I've ever known.
The best gay.
He gets the gay trophy from me.
I mean, it's tough to beat Freddie Mercury. So far, I'm winning this one, but can you one-up me?
I can't. Like, I got to piggyback on Freddie Mercury.
Right? Isn't he fucking great? Did you see
I mean-
Bohemian Rhapsody?
I did. My wife is a die-hard Queen
It's a great
fan.
movie.
Queen is unbelievable. And Rami Malek did a
But
great
did you
job
see
in that
Walking
movie.
Tall?
Of course.
Where is this rock thing coming from?
Is he not gay?
Or are you just gay for the rock?
No, is he?
I think you're just gay
is
for
he
the
not
rock.
gay? I was hoping he was gay because
You're thinking of the pasty one, the Vin Diesel. I think,
get rock hard with.
gay.
Is Vin Diesel gay?
I get rock hard for the rock.
I think so.
Dude, he's been super weird lately. The Rock has been going live on TikTok at like 7 to 8:30 in the morning and just taking a top off a bottle and throwing it.
He's on Samoan time.
Is it Samoan time?
He's
Because
on
I'm
Samoan
like,
time.
I'm scrolling TikTok in bed, and I'm like, this dude is getting housed before
Well,
the
I think
sun's
he's
all
one
the
of
way
those
up.
guys who gets up with the ass crack of dawn. Like Jocko Willnick always posts like what time he gets up in the morning. It's kind of a hardo thing, but I like Jocko.
But I mean, what does that mean, Samoan? Like, what is it like that big of a time difference?
Yeah, it's probably like 12 hours.
Yeah, wait, strong.
From us, I think it's
6 hours.
6. Hawaii's 6
Afghanistan
hours,
was
so
six,
it should be
wasn't
Six.
it?
It's
It should
6
be
hours
six-
earlier.
6+ behind us.
Right. No, that
Which
makes
was always
sense. So
weird.
it's the
So
middle
if
of
he's
the
in
night.
California and it's I mean it's not even closing time yet.
So you're just gonna stick with the Rock, Tansy? That's your favorite gay icon.
Well, I mean, if you're saying he's not gay, which is a huge disappointment.
A lot
to
of
me.
people say Scar from The Lion King was gay and a big
shit.
gay icon.
that-
I didn't
that's
know that
like
cartoons had a
You know what,
sexuality.
I don't pay attention
Ed
to
was.
people's sexual preferences. Like, I try not to like give two fucks about who you're fucking or what you're fucking. I don't kink shame. I don't give a shit. So I don't really know who's gay and who's not because I really just don't care.
Well, tonight I was.
It's 2021. You
Am I
can't
supposed to
you
care?
can't look at people and just be like, "Hey, you're a good person or you're a bad person."
I gotta label you as a gay.
You
You
gotta
gotta
know who they
label
voted
them.
for first.
Straight.
So
Are you
when
one
I-
of them straights.
You got to lay out
I mean, I'm
some
like- I'm
pronouns.
like-
Are you gay
Creed.
for straight?
I'm like I'm gay for straight, baby.
Go out and buy that shirt. Drinkingbros.com.
Drinkingbros.com. Gay for straight. That's a real shirt out
It
there.
really is, and it's a
It was sold out.
big
and then
seller
it came back.
too. Gay for straight.
And George Strait's back on tour, baby.
So is
get
Willie
that-
Nelson.
So get that gay for straight shirt. No, but what was I saying about the?
You're talking about how gay you are.
Well, whatever.
Rock hard for the Rock. I
Yeah,
think.
rock hard
Is
for the
that where I
Rock.
was at? I don't even remember where I was going with all that. This
Did you know The Rock played-
So Rum's got me all
Played
jacked
college
up.
football at Miami. Did
Yeah,
you?
I know.
Yeah, he was a
Of course,
beast.
I know everything about him.
Yeah, you knew that. That's a sport.
He smells different when he's awake.
That
The
is,
Rock would
that
eat
is
you
really
for lunch.
awkward too when they.
Do you know
when
what The Rock
finally
is
let them
cooking?
Know that.
I mean, I like to take the stance on Creed from The Office, where he was like, "I made out with a lot of girls in the mud in Woodstock."
Or
back in
how'd
the
to tell if a guy
60s.
slipped?
He's like, "Guy could have slipped in. Would be no way of knowing."
Yeah, impossible to know. You know, I know a
No
fun
way of
fact about
knowing.
Creed. He actually played in the band The Grassroots.
Yeah,
True
he's
story.
a real rock star.
He's a real rock star. He was on Pardon My Take, a Barstool podcast, and he talked about the story where
We all know that.
he was
boy.
where he was playing for David Crosby of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Speaking of gay, and
I'm in the middle
and
of a story,
To
shut the
totally
fuck up.
interrupt you.
Yeah.
Everybody that ever comes onto this podcast always asks. They're like, "Hey, is he gay?"
Me?
Yeah,
Oh
you.
yeah, I get it all the
Last of
time.
us.
I'm totally okay with saying that a lot of people question my sexuality and think that I might be gay. I'm okay with it. I was raised
I
by
would label
women.
myself.
I don't have a dad. I was raised by women. I was raised by an awesome mom. I'm very flamboyant.
She's
I'm
your
okay with
dad.
my sexuality. Yeah, she's my mom
She's
and my
your
dad.
dad.
Yeah, she
I'd
was.
suck her dick.
Whoa.
This is getting weird.
Anyway, my point was
Your mom's
Creed.
dick.
Creed
His
told
mom's-
Creed told a Creed told a cool story how he.
That's not unweirding it. Dig up.
I just want to tell
Yeah.
my fucking Creed story.
dig up,
Fucking
I've had
asshole.
like 3 hurricanes over here, homie, and now we're talking about gay
and
shit.
you're just
The
falling
storm
down.
Not,
the hole.
it's
Brewing.
not gay shit. It's actually cool shit. Where Creed and his band, The Grassroots, were playing for David Crosby, and he took some acid from a gypsy woman before he started playing, not knowing that the rest of his band wasn't partaking in the acid dropping. So he's the only one, and he said that he felt so bad for the speakers that he was playing out of that they were making so much noise. So he felt so inclined to take off all his clothes in the middle of the show.
And this is Creed.
Yes, Creed Bratton, which is his real name.
Is that
if
when
you
he's
look him
saying
up.
my own prison?
It's a different Creed. But we will sing that Creed later. But David Crosby was not happy.
Take me
Yeah, make everything sound like the letter
Scott
R.
Staff.
That's a different guy.
So Creed the band is Scott Staff with arms wide open.
Yeah. That's who I'm. That's all I heard.
I'm talking about Creed Bratton from The Office, who
Oh,
played in The
excuse
Grassroots.
me.
Keep up.
The song,
Excuse
Let's live
me.
for
Drink
today.
some Killcliff and keep the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, catch
I'm
up.
still stuck on Tansy being gay.
Dude, there'd be no way of knowing.
No.
I
if
can
you are, I
confirm.
support that.
After
You would- I
Dallas, I
support
can
that.
definitely confirm.
It's chilly.
Again, he was the
We got
little
off the
spoon.
plane. We got off the plane, and in Austin, when we were in Austin for the Austin show, we're gonna let you get out of here in 2 seconds.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, I know you're good.
You're
You
already
sit
in
the
trouble.
fuck down until we tell you you're done.
You said that like an hour and a
Yeah,
half
it
ago?
was.
Yeah, I'm just gonna borrow you for
30 minutes, bro.
But we got off the plane in
Have some
Austin,
fancy top
and,
ramen.
and there's so many fucking homeless people in Austin. And the three of us at the time, we had a manager working with us and a booking guy, and we're all walking through Austin. And the first words out of an Austonian's mouth was a homeless guy, and he walks up, he stops the three of us on the sidewalk. Obviously, you think he's going to ask us for money, and he goes, "Which one of you three boys is fucking the other one?"
And I,
Which of the
no
two of you is
hesitation,
fucking the other.
no hesitation went, me. Because
roll with
everyone
it, man.
knows I'm
But
the
you know
one
what? I don't
doing
get
the
Gay
fucking-
Pride Month because I'm proud of you every day of the year.
Aw,
Austin Joe.
thanks, Dad.
I'm proud of you every day of the year.
That's
don't
what I
care.
call him, as Daddy.
I don't care how gay you are, son.
I wish my mom didn't care.
Daddy
as
will
much.
always be proud of you. Always.
Really?
Unless you become a politician, then change your name and get the fuck out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
Then
I'm
enough.
pretty
get
tolerant, but I'm
popped.
not
You don't
that
have to worry
tolerant.
about that. I'll never become a politician because only pieces of shit become politicians. Ain't that
Well,
right?
and you have to be somewhat smart, and that
Yeah,
automatically
I'm lacking
takes
on that,
you
too.
off of
And I didn't go to BU.
Disqualified.
I didn't go to BU and make silly TikTok videos of me dancing.
Where are
like,
we at in these playoffs,
AOC.
homeboy? What do we? I know a bunch of teams have gotten kicked out of
So-
the NHL. Rest in pieces.
Yeah, know who didn't? The Boston Bruins. They're still going. They lost the last time I checked. And again, I know the show is going to air on Friday.
And the
so-
Hurricanes, they just lost yesterday.
No, we don't call them the Hurricanes. We call them the Hartford Whalers, where I'm from, okay? We don't give a fuck about the Hurricanes because the last 2 times the Hurricanes have had their season ended, it was at the hands of the big bad Boston Bruins. So I love reminding Caniacs out there that the Bruins end their season all the time. And they're irrelevant. Nobody gives a shit about hockey
I
down in North
honestly didn't
Carolina
even know they
anymore.
were a team till I moved down here.
Yeah, exactly. They used to be the Hartford Whalers, but who gives a shit about them? In the NBA, it's looking like it's going to end up being the Lakers. I don't want it to be, but it's looking like it's going to be the Nets and the Lakers. 2 powerhouse teams, 2 teams that I fucking hate. I hate everyone on the Nets. I hate Durant and Harden and Kyrie. I hate LeBron, even though Anthony Davis
Maybe
went
it's
down.
you. When you start hating everybody around you, maybe you're the problem.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I do have a
Really
lot of
need to
hate
look
in my
into
heart,
yourself.
but
The common
You know.
denominator.
I hate everyone who isn't from Boston and representing my team.
Is this when we do our intervention for him?
Go ahead and try.
No, not
I'll
now.
stick
Doing
this
that tonight.
fucking
No.
fake chopstick right in my eye before you try to give me an intervention. I don't
Make
need
you
any.
smarter. It's like a lobotomy. It's like a free lobotomy. He comes out.
That's like what the
normal.
Kennedys did to that daughter that time, right? Just took her brain right out.
Yeah.
That is what
No, that
happened.
is
Since we're
true.
talking about Boston, the Kennedys are Boston royalty. That is exactly what they did. They
Well,
gave
our
the
next
daughter a
show,
lobotomy.
we have a live show coming up at the Brick House on Tuesday. We hope that all you drinking bros, you're listening to this on Friday. On Tuesday, meet us at the Brick House. Show starts at 6. The pregame starts at 4. Live music following the show at 7.
As we all float.
As we all float. Follow us on Instagrammies. If you're watching us on YouTube because you want to see this
Hammer
fine
the like
specimen,
button.
Jason next to us, hammer that like button. We are shadow banned for using the CUNT word too many times.
But do you know what this is, Tansy?
Our first show that we didn't use that word.
No, this is the part of the show where we get to the drinking bro of the week.
Yeah, man.
Drinking bro
Drinking bro of the week. Can you take me higher? We have a drinking bro of the week. You get to pick. Has to be a living soul, a living human being. But you get to pick who it is. It's just somebody who inspires you, or it could be a broette. Doesn't fucking matter. But somebody who inspires you, somebody that keeps you motivated, keeps you going every day. It can be a celebrity. It can be a normal folk. It could be Boston Joe. We know that that's not going to be the case. But you get to pick. Who's your drinking bro of the week, homeboy?
Oh man.
No
Yeah,
pressure.
we'd love to put you on the spot.
Yeah. No pressure, right?
Yeah. No
So
pressure.
this
That's
is
what the
where I
game is.
should be all like, oh, somebody heart wrenching, somebody that
Could
just
be.
reach out.
Or it could just be a
and
real piece of
grab
shit.
you.
Mel Gibson
And
and the Patriot.
Yeah, it could be that.
How are you gonna take the Patriot over Braveheart? Like,
Oh, I wouldn't. No, don't get
like
me
I'm
wrong.
absolutely crushed
it
right
has to
now.
be
America,
living.
you know.
Because it has to be living, and Mel Gibson from Braveheart's dead.
William
got
Wallace.
He got
did.
his,
But
his
yeah,
head
I'm
cut
sure
off,
the
so-
Revolutionary War character he played in The Patriot is still alive.
It's an
right?
ageless film, though.
It is.
So is
It's a
Braveheart.
timeless-
Braveheart is Tom
timeless
Brady's favorite movie. If I had the chance to have a drinking bro of the week every week,
I
it would
bet
be
you
Tom
Brady
Brady.
cries every time. I fucking cry every time.
I
so.
cry. How could you
I
not
mean-
freedom?
If you don't cry, you're a sociopath.
No, it's when the sword is like swaying in the grass there.
So-
you want to run through a fucking brick wall after that.
So not to curry points or anything, but
Don't say Steph Curry.
a badass drinking bro right off the top would be the Gronkowski.
Oh,
I mean,
Wow, that's a good one.
I
That might
mean,
be one of our best drinking bros.
how many sports personalities come out there flashing their
Is he
money
gay?
everywhere,
I'm just kidding.
You know,
Stereotypical gay. Wow.
burning through their money? Like, here's a financially responsible
Mm-hmm.
guy that showed up and said, "Hey, I'm making more money than I can spend.
I miss Gronk.
Let me
I
just
miss
go to Tampa, enjoy the beach.
No.
enjoy." Tom's there.
I'm too young to
Tom's-
go there.
Tom's-
Only-
Just join
Tom's
the
there.
join the cruise cult. Scientology. Start wearing the red because they're all up there in Sarasota.
No, because then I have to clean bathrooms with a fucking toothbrush, and I don't want to do
You'd
that
be good
shit.
at it. You'd
Oh,
be good at it.
would I?
It's called prospecting. We've all done it.
Probably better at that than you are at podcasting. I'll tell you that.
Oh.
Oh,
the
shots
Gronk.
fired.
But the Gronk, that's a good one, man. Well, listen, guys, it's been a great tailgate. We have gone late. I've had way too much fucking rum tonight.
Yeah, you have.
And there's still a party behind us that we got to get inside to. From everybody here at Tailgate Legend, Chef Puhawk from Conspiracy Cuisine, Boston Joe at Boston Joe on Instagram.
16.
Jason,
Boston Joe
you guys,
16.
it's what's your Instagrammies, Facebook handles for Legion Redacted?
You can find me at Legion Redacted on
If you're a nerd,
Facebook.
you'll find them. You'll find them. If you can't find them, you don't belong in the group.
You're,
right. Get
you're
out.
not nerd enough.
You're not nerd enough. Get on a Reddit forum, figure it out. I'm Eric Tanzi at Eric Tanzi Official is my Instagrammies, and I've got some big news dropping on there, Drinking Bros related. In the next it's got to be a couple of days coming out. Ross had mentioned it on Drinking Bros, but I'm not allowed to mention it. He mentioned it on Ross Patterson Revolution, but I'm not allowed to mention it yet. So
It's
we're
funny
gonna
how that
wait
works.
on that. But you know what? Who gives a fuck? I just show up and do what I'm told. Noel White's our producer. He's the one that makes us sound fucking awesome. Brought
And
to you
puts
by
up with us.
Kill Cliff and GhostBed.com, Instill Distilling Company. Until next time, folks.
Can you take me higher?